source. Our goal is simple: to promote development through the power of information. We are live 24/7, bringing you the latest news from within and beyond our state. From newspaper reviews and expert analysis to entertainment updates, talk shows, and uplifting religious programs, there is always something for everyone. Need coverage for live event, news story, or well-crafted documentary or jingle? We've got you covered with top-notch service every time. Stay connected with us on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and X, or visit our website at www.kwararafatv.tv. You can also find us on your free-to-air decoder or tune in on frequency of 12589. This is Kwararafa TV, amplifying voices and driving progress. In a world where information inspires change, growth, peace, and development, Kwararafa TV is proud to be your trusted source. Our goal is simple: to promote development through the power of information. We are live 24/7, bringing you the latest news from within and beyond our state. From newspaper reviews and expert analysis to entertainment updates, talk shows, and uplifting religious programs, there is always something for everyone. Need coverage for live event, news story, or well-crafted documentary or jingle? We've got you covered with top-notch service every time. Stay connected with us on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and X, or visit our website at www.kwararafatv.tv. You can
Hello and good evening. You're welcome to Kwararafa Television, and this is Periscope, your favorite program of the week. Here on Periscope, as you already know, we look at issues that shape our society, looking at every angle and everything you need to know in order to actually live the best in this society. And looking at this week, we'll be looking at a very important segment or very important issues that shapes our society. That is the aspect of the law. We can actually say that over the past few years, jungle justice and taking the laws into our hands has actually been one of the major things that has been affecting our society and its prominence among youths. So today, we'll be having a lawyer who will be coming up here to actually give us a deeper understanding on this particular topic, which is jungle justice or the rule of law, the legal consequence of taking the law into your hands. And like you know, the person to do justice to this particular topic is none other than a senior associate with Shalom Building Chamber, Simon Emmanuel Waba, ESQ. Sir, you're welcome to our studio this evening.
Thank you for having me.
We're actually delighted to actually have you here as well.
I'm happy I
You know, while I was doing the intro, I was being careful so that I won't do anything that will be sued. But anyhow, I know I have you to defend me.
No, you're well covered legally. You're doing a nice job.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, now before we actually go, we'll have to just dive into the matter of the day, because actually this topic is actually very key. It's actually common on people taking the laws into their hands already. So yeah. I feel we need to rush and ensure we dissect this topic very, very well.
Very well.
And we are honored to have you, and we believe we're going to do great and justice to this.
I believe so too.
Okay, then moving further, I don't know, we can just start with the main thing of the day. What is jungle justice and what does the Nigerian law say about it?
All right, first and foremost, jungle justice is no justice at all, even though the word is coined jungle justice. So jungle justice refers to the extrajudicial, punishment of individuals who are suspected of crimes, often through public lynching or killings without a formal trial.
Yeah.
Now, every person is subjected to go through a form of trial to establish his innocence or guilt.
Yeah.
So now the Nigerian law is saying jungle justice is unconstitutional. It violates the fundamental human right as enshrined in Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And so he who engages in jungle justice find himself to be blamed at the end of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not, we are calling jungle justice.
Yeah.
Looking as if they're already giving justice to the
actually,
case
that's
at
the
hand.
belief. That's the belief. So we're here to clear that notion.
Okay, so looking at that, so why do you think jungle justice is becoming paramount and normal in our community? Because already it's normal. When someone steals, let's just kill him. People be saying, why didn't people kill him? He stole your phone. Why didn't you guys deal with him? So why do you think it's becoming normal in the Nigerian community?
Well, you see, in an ideal society that upholds the constitution and the rule of law, every person is presumed to be innocent until
proven guilty
or otherwise. So the idea of jungle justice seems to permeate or tear through the very fabric of that justice, so much so that it exposes, the failure of our law enforcement agencies and the erosion of public trust in our formal legal institutions. So there are various reasons that led to people, taking up arms and resorting to self-help, which is the mob action or mob violence or jungle justice, whichever way you may view it like. Yes. So first and foremost, there is loss of faith in our law enforcement agencies. There's that bridge of trust. The law enforcement agencies are there. Sometimes suspected criminals are handed over to them, and then shortly after that they are released, probably due to bribery and corruption or
lack of evidence.
Or political interference from some powerful connections. So people resort to that. And secondly, there is ignorance of the law. Many people felt they are actually doing the society a favor by engaging in jungle justice, whereas it's otherwise. Yes. So the ignorance of the law, people need to be educated on their civic rights and duties. Actually, the Constitution is built on a social contract theory. It's a social contract between the government and its citizens. The government hands legitimacy, the citizens hands legitimacy to the government, and the government in turn, provides security and welfare to the city. You surrender your rights and we protect you. So people don't know about that, and ignorance of the law is actually eating up the populace of the Nigeria.
When you were speaking, you said that somebody is actually not guilty or not the committee of an offense until he's proven guilty by the
court of law.
However, many times people actually feel we have to punish them. Maybe just like you said earlier, not trusting the system is actually one of the things. So then why do you think it is so important, or why do you think a suspect should actually not, there are some people that you saw them committed a crime, hoo-ha. So why should we say we have to wait for the court of law for them to be able to prove that this person that we saw committing this crime is guilty? So why should a suspect actually wait until the court of law? Or why should we?
Yes. So that's why we are in a civilized society. All right, people should not take laws into their hands. When you talk about jungle justice, you take us to the primitive era of man, where man was living in a state of lawlessness. There's no law guiding him. And so Thomas Hobbes, one of those ancient Greek philosophers, actually said, when man is not guided by government or without laws, life becomes solitary, nasty, poor, brutish, and short. So it is a constitutional principle that every person is presumed to be innocent. Now, because of that innocence, now the law sees him as an innocent person. So if you see him even in the act, you need to come and prove before a court of law. That is just the systematic arrangement. You understand?
Well,
yes.
That's it. So now, first of all, does the law permit citizens to actually arrest someone? Because it's actually normal again. Especially in villages, you find out that this person has committed a wrong, and then the village head or some of his boys will just come and keep that person, or maybe you do something that they don't like, they can actually keep you and then maybe even beat you or punish you, all of these things. So what does the Nigerian law say about that particular act?
Yes. We're going to perform a surgical operation for this question, because you're talking about arrest and punishment at the same time.
Yeah, okay.
So yes, the law gives private citizens the go-ahead to effect arrest.
Wow.
Yes, you can effect arrest. It's a collective responsibility of both the state and its citizens to ensure that, perpetrators are brought to book.
Wow,
so you can assist. Yes, the law enforcement agent in effecting an arrest. In fact, it is enshrined in Section 39 of the Police Act. 2020 is there. Private citizens can effect arrest on two conditions. Where the suspect committed the offense in your presence, you can arrest him and bring him. And where you have reasonable suspicion that he was the one that committed it, you can bring him to the law enforcement for investigation and further prosecution. Yeah. So
then the aspect of the punishment.
No, for the aspect of the punishment, it's a total no. That leads us back to jungle justice. You have no right. No group or individual has the right to actually, assault or execute a suspect because of the crime scene.
Now, you actually enlightened us earlier that we actually have the right, or we have the provision to arrest a suspect.
Very well.
Now, many times in the process of doing this, you find that some people can even do this thing, can even maybe kill the person, maybe trying to take the person to law enforcement. Of course, a lot of things can happen, which can lead to probably death or even severe injury. So what is the position of the law regarding that, and people that may be engaged in beating or killing a suspected criminal with evidence, but they engage in doing that?
And how do they attempt to kill him? Was he trying to escape?
Yeah, maybe. Anyhow, but then the suspected criminal has been
there's no excuse for you at all to kill someone. That's what we are saying.
Okay.
But in the event, you're only allowed to use such force as is reasonably necessary in the process of effecting arrest. You understand? This protection is also accorded to law enforcement. While you're effecting arrest as a police officer or as any paramilitary agent, you can use such force as is reasonably necessary. Even when it goes to our head, even when it amounts to killing the person to arrest him, yes, you can. You understand? Yes, in order to arrest, you are the one at the end of the day to say, okay, this is how reasonable the force is when that I use in arresting the person.
Yeah,
you understand?
it's true.
So
okay, and then another aspect now is, the ignorance of the law has actually been one thing again. People use the word jungle justice, so they feel as if doing that or taking the laws into their hands is actually doing the right thing. So does ignorance of the law give someone a bit of okay, since you're ignorant about it, don't worry, we're not going to punish you, don't commit it next time?
Well, you see, of all the offenses known to law, ignorance of the law is never an excuse. So it is captured in the legal maxim, ignorantia juris neminem excusat, meaning ignorance of the law is not an excuse. You cannot be excused simply because you disavow the knowledge of certain laws. However, like I said, to every general rule there is an exception. So the only exception to that is maybe if the law is a new law and it has not been published, okay, maybe we can cut you some slack, pardon you, because the law has not been published. But it is your duty as a citizen to know the law governing the area. If you venture to go to America now, there are laws. You cannot claim you don't know. They will arrest you. And it's your duty before you explore a particular place. Try to know the laws. So it's very important.
All right. Now coming down to the aspect of the jungle justice or the mob attack we've been talking about. Now, on a sad note, we could actually know for the past 2 weeks ago, starting from Jos down to even Taraba State, there were popular cases of this. I think a Jos student in Jos, also a Jos student, was actually attacked and killed for allegedly stealing an iPhone, and then coming down to Taraba State in Angwankasa, particularly in Jalingo, we can see a situation where some KK guys and the other one engaged in a fight, and then at the end of the day, one person was stabbed, and then it led to the loss of life and the likes. So before we actually dissect more of this, the first question now is, if someone steals somebody's property, what's the best way to go about it? Like, what's a lawful way to actually seek justice? Because people feel, okay, like let's take this issue of the phone theft as an example. Many a times when people lose their phone, they don't have the hope of getting it. That is why when they get the suspected criminal, they do whatever they want to do with it. Because if you go to the law or to the police or whoever they are, you find out that they don't even mostly get the phone. Once it's stolen for good, unless you have the connection. So however, people tend to take the laws into their hands. So in a case where someone's phone is missing, or maybe any property, of course, of importance is missing, what are the steps the person should actually take in order for the person to seek justice instead of attacking or killing, of course?
Okay, first of all, when you have cases of theft or stealing, the first thing you need to do is to gather all evidence of ownership of that particular property. If it is your phone, you get your receipt payment as an evidence that you are the owner. That will help or assist the law enforcement agencies in tracking it. If you're able to know the person, well, we are halfway into solving the problem. It's just to disclose the identity, where he stays. If he even does it in your presence, you can effect arrest. The law gives you the permission to just effect arrest at that moment, take him to the law enforcement agencies and see to it that matter is being investigated and prosecuted. You understand? But there's no reason for you whatsoever to just take lives. Stealing and theft, depending on the jurisdiction, there in South they call it stealing, here in North they call it theft. So they are petty offenses. But I understand that due to the economic hardship and the fragile means of livelihood of Nigerians.
Nigeria.
Actually, theft triggers that anger. You understand? They become enraged and they just want to lynch or kill. You understand? Because there's no point you suffering your hard-earned money, you know, getting all those hard-earned money, and then somebody will just come and take your valuable. Actually, you know, there's that notion that whenever someone deny you of your property, he has denied you of your life,
sure.
automatically. So, but the proper thing to do at that moment, gather your evidence of payments, everything that will link to the stolen property, avail it to the security agencies, and see to it how they will help. Actually, we are calling for a total reform of the law enforcement, because that's the first point of investigation. They are the ones to assist these vulnerable people now into getting their stolen items. And that's why the law even punishes the person who receives stolen property more than the thief himself. Yes, because you are the one encouraging him. Somebody should come here, cater away. A thief might walk in here now, he doesn't have any use for all this your gadgets here. He will just go and sell it at a cheaper amount,
and the person will buy it.
And the person will buy. Why would you buy? And that's why before you get something, have a receipt for it. Ensure that the person you're getting the property from is the real owner, without any encumbrance.
No, talking about these issues actually worrisome, because we're in Nigeria, we're used to buying things. You can just go to Sibos, for instance,
yes, especially I have to warn about that. You need to get a receipt for that.
Yeah,
they should issue you.
But then, you know, it's not common. So what's your advice to maybe people that are into business and selling things, and then the issue of receipt is actually not common in, especially now part of the country.
That's why we're creating this awareness. I think that's the purpose of this.
So no matter what, don't buy anything without a receipt.
Yes.
Well, that's actually
we should if I should get this phone from Sebos now and I have my receipt, and at the end of the day it is alleged that it's a stolen property, with that evidence of payment, so the person that issued me, I've exempted myself from the police investigation. Now it's left with them. I bought it, he showed me receipt that he's the owner, and I bought.
That's
the law is that simple.
That is just
so people need to be
we need to be aware of the ignorance, especially the ignorance we're talking about. I believe they're enlightened already. Okay, now moving further, now we've actually talked about the aspect of maybe getting a suspected criminal and then killing them and all of this. Now going on the aspect of fights, for instance, like the Angwankasa example, actually you were actually involved in
actually that cannot be classified under jungle justice. I heard you, but there's a case in Gashaka. A 15-year-old boy that was alleged to have stolen MP. Yes, by Taraba State Marshals. They malhandled the boy. They brought him to FMC for treatment. Some sources allege that his health condition was deteriorated due to detention, unlawful detention. While others said no, he had some physical bruises, broken neck, and all that led to his death. So whatever the case may be, you understand, that's a clear case of jungle justice, petty theft from the vigilante themselves.
What I'm talking about here now, maybe due to you steal something or you do something I don't like, and we get engaged in a fight together, and maybe at the process I kind of either ended up killing or putting in a very difficult situation. Will it be considered as murder or manslaughter, and is it a crime?
Well, you see, every case has to be decided on its own peculiarity and circumstances that led to it. Now, the court has to look at your intention. Was there a presence of malice aforethought? I'll break that down to you. Malice aforethought is like a premeditation. Yes, a premeditation. Did you have that premeditation that you want? You know, somebody can just come and engage you in a fight simply because he wants you to retaliate, so that he can have the chance to kill you. You understand? So stuff like that happen. So we'll be able to know if your intention was to kill or to cause grievous bodily harm. Or it was due to sudden provocation. Yes, if it is due to sudden provocation, it's a defense actually, but it's a partial defense. They might not charge you for murder, they might charge you for manslaughter. That is unintentional killing. Yes. So like I give you a case of I think a fight ensued between two people. He took an axe and he wanted to use the sharp edge. Then he remembered, then he turned and used the handle, and the court said no, he doesn't have intention to kill. If he had intention to kill, he would have used the sharp edge. So they charged him for manslaughter. So that is where the fight is coming from, sudden provocation.
No, so you know, when you're talking about, you said they will look at the intentions and the like. So can somebody say I acted in anger really lessen the situation, reduce criminal liabilities?
Yes. Yes, I acted in anger. Yes.
So
but there are conditions. There are conditions.
Yeah,
with everything in court there are conditions. First of all, we have to look at was the provocation sudden and grave?
Okay.
Yeah, was the provocation sudden and grave? Would a reasonable man in your shoes actually pick offense and act the way you do? Is it enough to even provoke you? Then, did you act in the heat of that passion? I'll give you a clear example. A man walked into the house and met someone lying with his wife.
Yeah.
There's that sudden, we can say it's sudden and grave now.
Yeah.
And then he went back to maybe shop where they are buying gun, brought gun, and followed that person to his house to go and kill him, because definitely that man that was sleeping with his wife would not wait there.
Yeah.
He will run away. So now that's to say he didn't act in that heat of that passion. So the law expects him that the moment he walked away to go and purchase that gun, his passion must have cooled down, because it's not in that heat again.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Reason must have gained dominion over the mind.
Yeah.
So this is number 2 condition. Then 3, we have to look at the proportionality.
Okay.
Yes. Was it delayed or extreme?
Okay.
You understand? Somebody cannot just slap you and say, hey, he slapped me now, and you took knife and stabbed him. Should slap actually mandate you to go and pick a knife? How will you bring a knife to hand fight or fist fight? So that's
okay. Well, okay.
So acting in anger is a very costly defense to put up.
Sure.
You might not really escape it because of these conditions.
Okay. Well.
And they are always matched together. Our court applies it to arrive at the decision.
Oh, this is quite interesting. I'm learning a lot already.
Very well.
All right, then I guess you're actually enjoying this conversation, because I am. If you didn't take anything, just know that acting in anger can actually cost you more liability than you actually think. So however difficult it is, don't take the laws into your hand. Trust our judicial systems and our processes. Report to the right channel and you will get the justice you need. But don't forget, jungle justice, or ensuring what you're going to do to get what you want in your own way is not the right thing to do. That's a conversation on jungle justice. We'll be right back after to give you more on this particular topic. Don't go away. Stay with us.
When leaders speak and communities act, the world listens. At Kwararafa TV, communities act, the world listens. At Kwararafa TV, we bridge the gap between government and the people, tracking development, promoting dialogue, and empowering citizens. For reliable news, meaningful conversations, and impactful journalism, follow us on YouTube and Facebook, or tune in via frequency 12589 on all free-to-air decoders for more. Kwararafa TV, connecting voices, inspiring change. In a world where information inspires change, growth, peace, and development, Kwararafa TV is proud to be your trusted source. Our goal is simple: to promote development through the power of information. We are live 24/7, bringing you the latest news from within and beyond our state. From newspaper reviews and expert analysis to entertainment updates, talk shows, and uplifting religious programs, there is always something for everyone. Need coverage for live event, news story, or well-crafted documentary or jingle? We've got you covered with top-notch service every time. Stay connected with us on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and X, or visit our website at www.
Alright, welcome back. You're still on Periscope here on Kwararafa Television, and today we're dissecting an interesting topic of importance to our society, that is jungle justice or the rule of law, the legal consequences of taking the law into your hands. And the person doing justice to this particular topic is none other than a senior associate with Shalom Building Chambers, Simon Emmanuel Waba ESQ. So thank you very much for actually giving us this beautiful insight you've actually been doing.
You're welcome.
We're actually enjoying this conversation so far. And you know, while we're actually speaking, before I even go for, a lot of people have been dropping some comments down our platform. So before I continue with what we've actually been doing so far, maybe let me just drop one of the questions somebody asked earlier. This is coming from Mr. Emmanuel Y. Keller, who said, in a case where a thief come into my house trying to take my properties and life, in defending myself, I accidentally killed the victim. Will I be punished by the law? It's actually an interesting question. So maybe we could have you look at that before we continue.
All right. Just a quick one. Yeah. So, it's a constitutional right to private defense.
Okay.
Yeah, you have the right to defend yourself or defend another person.
Yeah. Okay.
You have the right to defend yourself and your property, or another person and his property. So, it depends again on the circumstance of the case.
Okay.
We'll have to look at if that thief actually came armed. He didn't mention if the thief came armed or unarmed.
Okay.
If he is unarmed, you can actually just effect arrest. Yes, you can arrest him and hand him over to the authorities since he's unarmed. In fact, it's your house. You know your house better than he does.
Well, in this case, the thief can come and he's a bit stronger than you are.
Okay, if he's a bit stronger than you, and then he's trying to cut away with the property, you caught him, and then he maybe fighting and he tries to overpower you,
push the person and the person just dies.
Yeah, maybe he put you in that chokehold, trying to take your life. Actually,
you can.
The law avails you the opportunity to defend yourself.
Okay.
To stay alive. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But looking at the broader view, you were trying to say something else.
Yeah, looking at the broader view, if he is armed, you can also take up any arm.
Okay.
To defend yourself.
So it's not a crime.
It's not a crime.
Okay.
It's not a crime. Actually, self-defense, it exonerates the person completely. Remember, I talked about provocation, which is a partial defense. This one is a complete defense. If successfully pleaded and the court agree with you, it's a complete defense. You're good to go.
Okay, that's nice.
Yes.
For the person that dropped this question, I guess you're enlightened already. But if you're not very much enlightened, you can head to Shalom Chambers and get more. Pay for consultation, don't forget. And then he will definitely give you more of what you want. All right, then going further to the topic or what we're actually discussing about. Now, okay, there are people who are encouraged. When we talk about this jungle justice, many times that some people tend to record it and then it's all online.
Yeah.
Some people even join it, maybe not deep into it, but they're actually participating. Some people are even hailing them. So what is the place of people that engage in this in such cases?
Actually, the Constitution only prescribes for right to a peaceful assembly.
Okay.
Yes, right to peaceful assembly, you have that right. But right to unlawful assembly, you don't have. So you agree with me that the gathering of crowd for riots is an unlawful assembly of people. The state doesn't want that.
Okay.
So for those that are found there, it means you're in support. If you're not in support, you won't be there. In fact, you will be looking for a way to actually, suppress the riots. But you recording, actually, you have even implicated yourself that you're there. Yes. So the law is simple. When we exhaust our penal code laws, the penal code is a substantive criminal law obtainable in northern Nigeria. In the south, we have criminal code. So penal code section 79 state that when an act is done by several persons in furtherance of the common intention of all, each of such person is liable for that act in the same manner as if it were done by him alone. So if you happen to be in that unlawful assembly and at the end of the day the victim died or dies, yes, the law enforcement arrests you. They're going to charge you for murder because it means that all of you that gathered there had common intention to see that this person is dead. So it's very risky for you to be in an unlawful assembly or a riot place. The issue of I didn't join, no, I was just recording, it won't even arise. The law will see that you are
Nigerians will say my life first. Me, I not go start a separate fight and then they come find me again. So in a situation where the person is not in support of it, I think if something of this nature happened, is it earlier this year or maybe this year in Jos also when one of those students also attacked. The video trended online. There are some people, most of the videos, people that were actually videoing, found out that some people were even passing, but they were scared. Let me not go and try and save this person, and then they end up attacking me as well. So many times people will just be running away and then not doing something. So can you just broadly speak on this aspect as well? Because many a times the people are actually not part of them, but then some of them will say, okay, let me just record it as evidence because these people are doing what, if I cannot stop them, at least let me record them and show it to the world.
Yes, that one is different.
Okay.
Yes, when you're recording and then maybe you're doing that for the purpose of, exposing the perpetrators. Okay?
Yeah.
So that when the law enforcement comes now, they know who to get.
Okay, yeah.
All right, the identity are already revealed online.
Okay.
But when you're doing the videoing and maybe you're even inciting, I think that is more implicating. Yes, so let's try to distinguish the two. Recording and inciting, beat them, kill them, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You have shown that you have common intention with those people. Now,
sure.
if they are charging those people for murder, you will equally be charged for murder, even though you never put a stick to beat the person. Yes.
Okay. I mean, you must not actually be in it for you to chant and
yes, and maybe chorus, all those stuff like
it's
that.
also there.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's just go further. Now, how does the law treat people that attack someone on suspicion? Many a times find that okay, my goat is missing. I'm suspecting that my neighbor. Why did he buy a new clothes? It's probably he's the one that stole the clothes and the goat. So what's the stand of?
Yes, actually, due to the prevalence of jungle justice now, we've come to a point that mere suspicion is now a death sentence.
Yeah.
You can see how costly that is. Somebody's life will just be cut short based on suspicion. And that's why even the law coined the term as a suspect. You're a suspect. So we're only suspecting you. That has to be proven before a court of law. Now, when he goes to court, from the police investigation, inquiry and all that, he is called a suspect. When he's being charged to court, the name change to accused or defendant, depending on the jurisdiction. Some actually find accused offensive using the word accused. They now change it to defendant. Some jurisdiction has changed it to defendant. Notably, Taraba State, we use defendant.
Okay.
Now, after the court has gone through its findings and pronounced judgment, he's either set free or he now becomes a convict. Now you call him a convict.
Okay.
You are hereby sentenced to and convicted.
Okay.
So he becomes a convict. When he goes to the prison, he becomes a prisoner. So you can see how the stages. So everything is a gradual process.
Okay. Now talking about when we're talking about the stage already. So now I'm talking on the suspect. Now what are some of the laws or rights, that a suspect has under the Nigerian law?
Yes, the rights are there are so much rights enshrined in the Constitution. Chief among them are right to life. Every person has a right to life, and no one shall be deprived intentionally of his life, except found guilty by a court of law with respect to any particular offense. I told you there are exceptions where you are trying to effect a lawful arrest. When he's escaping lawful custody and stuff like that. So those are the exceptions where you can deny somebody's right. In self-defense too comes under the exception. Then there's right to fair hearing. Yes, you give him fair hearing. Let's hear from you. Actually there are instances where somebody might actually be in the picture of being the thief, but he's not actually the thief.
Sure.
Yes, so sometimes our assumptions are costly to the extent that it might make the victim to lose his life. So that is why we should allow the courts to judge. You understand? And some of these principles, some of these rights stem out, or should I say, they are premised on religious grounds. Yes, God gave you this life to cherish it. You understand? You don't give life, so there's no reason for you to take it. Only God gives life. You understand? And the concept of fair hearing, even during the fall of man in the Garden of Eden, you're a good Bible student, I believe. So when they fell before God and ate the forbidden food, he not just punished them, he gave them fair hearing. Did you eat from the forbidden tree? I asked you not to. That's the thing. Even God himself. You understand? I avail you that fair hearing to hear from you. So right to dignity of human person. When you beat a suspect, you have stripped him off of that right of fair hearing and dignity of human person. Sometimes they set these people ablaze, particularly in Lagos. There was a time that the thing was so rampant that even a 7-year-old boy at some point was killed for stealing Gary. Yes, for stealing Gary. Yes, and so many cases like that. So you strip that person out of his dignity.
But still talking about the suspect, let's leave our Nigeria, all the common Nigerians out of it now. There are times I find that some people complain, okay, we go to visit our brothers who are maybe awaiting this in trial, and then they're already in bad shapes, they're already beaten. So does the maybe law enforcement agency have the right to actually beat a suspect black and blue before he's proven guilty?
Actually, that is why, like I said in the first instance, we are calling for a total reform of our law enforcement agencies. Actually, the process of investigation does not involve you torturing. That's another fundamental right from abstaining from, degrading, inhuman, or torture or assault like that. You understand? So I think there is a body called Amnesty International.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
They have always advised that you don't obtain facts by torture. And that's where all these technologies come from, you understand? So that it can aid and ease up the process of investigation.
Sure.
But sometimes you find out our law enforcement beats a suspect to stupor. To the extent that he might not even be the one that committed it, but he just have to say he committed it, just for peace to reign
and for him to escape the pain.
Yes, that is just it. So it's that bad.
So as the man of the law, what's your stance on this, and what's your advice to probably now face the law enforcement agency and in the larger community at large?
Yes,
this particular issue, because it's actually worrisome.
It's actually worrisome and disturbing. So my advice is, when loved ones or family relations actually go to visit their loved ones who is in incarceration or incarcerated and find out that there are bruises and all that, they should report to a higher authority or maybe get a lawyer to file for his fundamental human rights, for the enforcement of his fundamental human rights. And when that is done, if there are evidence of bruises and pains that he has gone through, or maybe health condition that has developed due to his unlawful detention, actually there should be damages and compensation to be paid. Very well.
Now looking further, I actually this question just came to my heart. Many times looking at the Nigeria economy as it's biting hard, we have situations where people are actually not treated well, but they may be thinking of, okay, I don't have money to pay a lawyer, I don't have money to actually do this. Many times people take a lot of things, but then I feel that if the people could actually follow the right processes, a lot of things could actually be done. So can you just talk about the perception of how people tend to seek professional help in cases of criminal or legal issues? Like, how could you weigh it? And then what is actually your thought or your advice for them in that area as well?
Okay, first of all, if I must get you, you're talking about people who do not have the means to engage a lawyer.
Yeah, it's not even common. Some people feel, why should I even do it? I don't even need it. Some people can use the excuse of not having the means. Some people could even feel it's not even necessary. Some people even have the mindset that if I go, I will not even get my case solved. So why should I? In seeking legal help. So could you actually talk on that?
Okay. Well, it depends on what kind of help the person needs. Okay. And if for example, now we're talking about maybe your loved one being, jailed and you don't have the means to engage a lawyer, we have the Legal Aid Council. You understand? That does cases pro bono. We have human rights commissions. These people actually take up case for indigent people who do not have the means to secure the services of a lawyer. So it's that simple. And they can just go to any of those councils and lay a complaint. All
right, now coming back to our topic, of course, jungle justice. Now, so what do you think is the role of, we have actually been talking about the law enforcement and the likes, police, of course, and these other paramilitaries are actually part of them. So what's the role, especially on community leaders? Let's even talk on their own areas as well. What do you think is their roles in preventing jungle justice?
Well, you see, mostly in the core north here, and I believe in Nigeria as a whole, or Africa, we have our tradition, of course. We always take it as to be very paramount. So these community leaders, actually, they have a role to play. They can actually, sensitize their community members on the dangers of involving in, jungle justice and the legal implications. So there should be both religious and traditional outreach, educating people on the fact that jungle justice is not the way forward, and it is a primitive act to engage in. So that is it. So
now when we were speaking earlier as well, you actually brought it up that many times some people actually engage in jungle justice because they feel maybe the judicial system will actually not sort the situation. So let me just take the law into my hands.
Yes.
So what role do you think, maybe first of all, we'll also talk about community leaders now. So about the government, you know, you said many a times one of the major reasons why they do that is because they lost confidence in the judicial system. So how do you think our government can restore public trust in courts and then in extension the law enforcement agency?
Actually, the prevalence of this jungle justice goes ahead to, you know, expose deep-rooted societal frustrations.
Okay.
Yes, and institutional decay. So there are measures the government can take to actually, you know, restore confidence in our legal institutions. First, they can provide the courts with modern technology, you know, because trials in courts take longer time than necessary.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes the trials.
Sure.
It takes longer time than necessary. People will be waiting and they will even lose. So at the end of the day, they might feel that okay, justice
it's not for us.
may not even be served at the end of the day. You understand? So there is need to actually speed up trials, and that's by providing the court with modern technology to actually facilitate that.
Okay, all right, that's it. Okay.
And our law enforcement agencies, the government can also provide them with tools, modern tools that will be able to suppress riots, and also provide them with, let's say, some other equipment like that, and improve, you know, emergency responses from them.
So now, speaking in extension now, so what do you think what are some of the legal reforms or public awareness campaigns that can be done to help reduce jungle justice?
Yes, one of the legal reforms I'm looking at is for the various states to actually enact an anti-lynching laws.
Okay.
Yes, they should provide a law that guides, that regulates lynching. You understand? Anybody found
guilty of that
can be brought under that law and be charged accordingly. Then our community leaders should also be accountable for things that happen in the community. You understand?
Sure.
All community leaders, there should be a stakeholder meeting. You understand? This is what we're trying to prevent, and you are at the forefront trying to help us to curb the excesses of this jungle justice. You understand? So when there is that, they can also try to bring about community policing, like the vigilante, giving them proper education on how to, you know, bring back that trust. Because like I said, there's a breach already. The people don't trust the law enforcement agencies anymore. You know, police is your friend, police is your friend. It's not by just saying it. We need to work towards that.
Okay, now so another thing here is emotions. Many times when our emotions are triggered, especially with young people actually act with their emotions. So when they feel, okay, what this person did to me is so hard, so they have to just want to just unleash it, just do it. So what advice would you give to young people who often react emotionally during conflicts?
Sometimes it might be a spiritual problem though, but I don't know. But I would advise for the physical one. Because spiritual problem, I don't know of that. So they should try to have self-control. Okay? So habit formation takes time. For you to form a habit, it takes time.
It takes time, sure.
So does habit deformation. You understand? Now we're taking it backwards. Work on yourself. You mustn't take offense at every little thing. If you consider yourself as someone that is very temperamental, I think you should be looking for a way to work towards it. I don't know. Those days, I think when you watch Hollywood movies, there are therapy sessions. I don't know if it's obtainable in Nigeria, but I don't know if there are people that do that. You engage in therapy. People advise you, talk to you. Can I talk to you? What's really the problem? Why do you act this way? What do you think we can do to actually make you understand? What makes you happy? You understand? Okay, so be among people that actually make you happy. Understand? Stuff like that.
Okay, now coming to an end. So what message as a legal practitioner would you leave for Nigerians looking at either choosing jungle justice or the rule of law? So what would be your final message for them?
My final message is the idea of rule of law actually presupposes the predominance of the law over everybody and equality before the law. So no one is above the law and no one should take the law into his hands. You understand? We are in a civilized society and we should act as one. So my message to the entire Nigerians, to the entirety of Nigerians is they should not resort to self-help. mob action, mob violence, or jungle justice, they should always report the matter to the appropriate authority and also follow up for proper investigation and prosecution.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just dump the matter there. They don't follow up. And that is where these community leaders can come in. You understand?
Yeah.
Visiting the police station. How about the suspect? How is it going? How's the investigation going? You understand? Following up, we actually, awaken the law enforcement to know that people are actually waiting for
this. Yeah.
Yes, for the outcome.
Yeah. I was actually asking you to give your close statement, and I actually saw an interesting question on our comment section. So let me actually ask us as well. So this is coming from Bawuru MZ. So he said, I have a question. If I invite my girlfriend to my apartment and both our families are aware that we are in a relationship, but she expectedly dies in my apartment from what appears to be a natural causes, despite me not harming her or doing anything to her, what legal steps should I take to establish that I was not responsible for her death and protect myself from legal consequences in relationships to jungle justice or rule of law? This is interesting.
Actually, if we were to follow the rule of law, it requires you to report yourself to the appropriate authority.
Okay.
Yes.
But you didn't kill
someone dies in your apartment,
Okay.
of course, but it's in your apartment. If anything happens here, you should take responsibility. You should be able to provide information as to what led to that incident. So you should report it to the appropriate authority and follow through for the investigation. Now the police will investigate you.
Okay.
And the body will be taken for postmortem.
Okay.
That's autopsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the Mobad case.
Okay, yeah.
It's a kind of medical examination
yes.
performed on the dead body to know what if she died due as a result of something that the medical examination will actually reveal the cause of the death. If it was maybe shortage of blood or her heart stopped pumping all by itself, it will reveal. So the truth does not need a lawyer. The truth is one, and it will definitely reveal itself.
Okay, so the person should just report himself.
Yes, I don't know. There's one other case in TSTC that a lady died in the boyfriend's apartment and he went and hung himself or something.
Okay, yes, I heard something like that.
Yeah, there's no need for that. Just take yourself to the authority.
But many times people result in that because the society will just stigmatize you. Many times some people, even if you're not the person that did it,
yes, rumors have already been flying around. And I understand that there's no good rapport between the citizens and police or the law enforcement. Sometimes somebody is feeling if something like that happened because it's a very serious crime. You submitting yourself, you've even giving yourself to torture, all manner of assaults from the law enforcement. So what you need to do, but running away will not save you either. You understand?
So just report yourself.
You just take the matter up to there's this Nollywood movie that this Osita Oheme, he was a lawyer. Said, yes. So they recommended him as a lawyer to somebody that was running away from the police. So when he came and met Popo, he is the lawyer. He reported him. He said, "This is what happened. The police have been looking for him." He said, "Go and report yourself to the police." He said, "Is that all?" He said, "Yes. Go and report yourself." The guy was shocked. He said, "Which kind of mumu lawyer they give me?" Lo and behold, in court, that was what he used to even defend the guy. He said, if this guy actually committed this offense, he would have been running. But he brought himself to the police.
Okay, so in essence, what you're trying to say is, irrespective of the crime, whether you commit it or you not commit it, reporting yourself as a way of reducing maybe.
Very well. Even in court sometimes, understand, depending on the gravity of the offense. Once you plead guilty, the court can just summarily try you.
Okay.
And when they summarily tried you, like I'm guilty, I did it. The law should take its course. Then at the end of the day, the court might ask you, do you have anything to say before we pass the sentence? You understand? Okay. Because you have avoided that rigorous trial, that lengthy time, you've avoided the court from wasting the precious time into discovering your guilt. You just admit that you did it. You understand? So there is what we call plea of allocators.
Okay.
That's a plea of leniency. Now that person that is about to be convicted can plea for leniency. Oh, I'm a first-time offender. Oh, I'm the breadwinner of my family.
Okay.
Yeah, he can do it, or this lawyer can do it on his behalf and say, if I'm giving this sentence, the sentence now, I have dependents on me, people that are depending on me. How will I be able to feed my family? How will be able... The court actually takes into consideration all those facts
Okay.
And maybe at the end of the day, if the sentence is 6 years, they might reduce it to 2 years,
2 years.
or 1 year, or you pay fine, or both. So
However the case may be.
however the case may be, you
Just
just accept your fate. If you did it, accept it.
Yeah.
Just take yourself to the cross and take your cross.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
actually interesting. Thank you very much. We actually elaborated a lot on this particular topic.
You're
It was
welcome.
nice hearing from you, and we look forward to inviting you again on Kwararafa Television.
Anytime.
And we believe that you'll be here with us.
Very well. Very
And
well.
okay, if we do anything, no, we'll not commit crime, sure, but I know we have free
Yeah, please abstain
consultation.
from crime. It doesn't pay.
However the case may be, we have free consultation on at your law firm. I
No,
guess.
there's no problem.
And
We'll charge you minimum.
No
It's-
charge,
it's-
just
it's-
want to get it free. However, thank you very much then.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, then that is it on Periscope this evening. I'm sure you enjoyed the conversation today, but don't forget one thing: do not take the law into your hands. Jungle justice will take us nowhere. The law has made provisions in order for us to live in a safer society where there will be no issues, but then whatever we want will be done. So for us to actually overcome jungle justice, all hands must be on deck, starting from the government, community leaders, the young people, the old, and every other person. Let's not take the law into our hands, and we'll ensure that we have a safe society. That's it on Periscope this evening. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to come back next week Friday for another exciting episode of Periscope. But don't forget, again, the Kwararafa Television does not just stop with Periscope. There are a lot of exciting programs and issues that are actually being done on this station. So continue to follow our social media handles and watch us on our free-to-air decoder or on your free TV app for more of our packages. For now, I am Rejoice Hussein Yaro telling you have a lovely weekend. Bye for now.